Come on, brother. There you go. Kombonation, what is up, everybody? This is Grown B and Batman 123 Rock, and we are continuing our revisiting the Arrowverse series. This week, we are looking at Supergirl season 2, and later, I think we'll do Black Lightning season 3.
Hmm.
And so we're gonna go ahead and just dive right into it. Um, I don't know. Maybe after revisiting this, maybe hindsight is 2020, and maybe I have a better appreciation for this season. But currently, for me, this is the worst season of Supergirl to me. I've been kind of looking over the notes and everything, and I'm realizing that there are a lot of good moments. But when I was watching this season, I felt a little bit let down. There was a lot of things going on, and at the time, it all just kind of felt cluttered. I wasn't connecting with a lot of the side characters, and I'm a really big like side character guy. Like I really like seasons where side characters and villains really get an opportunity to shine and grow. And honestly, I think what it boils down to is maybe I just didn't like the villain of this season very much, and maybe that's kind of one of the bigger reasons why I've had somewhat of an issue with it. But there are a lot of good things, and so maybe after looking at them again, I may have a different opinion towards this season because I think I did that with another review that we did within the last few weeks, and so we'll see how it goes. Batman, since it's a little bit more fresh on your mind, I'll let you kind of open up with your initial thoughts of the season.
Um, I really enjoyed it,
Nice.
honestly. Um, I enjoyed a lot of the new characters, like Lena Luthor. I
Mm-hmm.
think she's really strong, really cool.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I liked Maggie. I thought she was interesting. I mean, there's a lot of there honestly were a lot of moments
Mm-hmm.
where like you see where she came from, like her past and
Yeah.
her trying to confront it, to overcome it, and that was interesting. And then Monel was just it
Mm-hmm.
was it was funny. It was really funny. Um, him
Since
trying to
oh,
adapt to
sorry, go ahead.
everything.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Uh-huh. Since you brought up Lena Luthor, I would like to say that I think that this is the last season of an Arrowverse show that might belong to the era of well-written female characters. The Moira Queens, the Sarah Lances, the Helenas, like Lena Luthor, Lena's mom, and even Supergirl's sister, who suddenly I can't remember her name,
Alex.
Alex, even Alex during this season, I mean, just before this season, was just a really strong character. After that, I feel like they really took a nosedive with how they were writing female characters. Iris went downhill. Um, what's her name went downhill? Felicity went downhill. Just several of the female characters, and just and kind of this sense of strength and power that felt natural and didn't feel forced. I feel like this is kind of the back end of that. And so I definitely wanted to point that out because I still to this day enjoy Lena Luthor as a character. I feel like they do well with her flaws. They do well with her strengths and showing her human side. A lot of times certain characters just don't seem human. They seem like a character meant to play a particular role, or they're utilized for a specific message. But outside of that message, outside of that role, they have no substance. And that's been a big
Right.
problem with not just female characters, but just characters in general. We haven't talked about him much yet, but Curtis from Arrow, I feel like is a character like that, and so we'll eventually get to him. But anyway, continue. I know I kind of interjected there.
No, you're good. Um, so Monel, uh, like fish out of water. That's the term.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
he
Yep.
was trying to adapt, and he was humorous. He was funny. Like more than half the scenes with him are humorous.
Yes.
Um, and he's just got this, this confidence. He's just like, he's confident, and he's just he's a cool dude. You know. Um,
Hold
I
on.
like his
Just hold on just a second. Just one
character.
second. Okay. Sorry about that. My dad's been smoking some pork for the past 12 hours, and he was letting me know that it's about to be ready. Um, so sorry about
Very good.
that. Go ahead with what you were saying.
Oh crap. There was something I wanted to touch on with Maggie, like a really big moment, but it's season three. See, it's blending in.
It's
It's blending
blending
in.
in. Let's yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
God dang. And the villain, I didn't mind the villain. I thought she was. I mean, she was just mean. Honestly, she was just mean. Um, she kind of just didn't want to let go of her son, or she wanted control over him. You know,
You know
and
that's
that
actually
let
you
her
know
do.
what's interesting about that? That is a nice reflection of actual life though.
Hmm,
Women who have a son and that's it. Like, cause Monel he didn't have any other siblings, right?
I don't think so. No,
So like,
not to my knowledge.
typically, even just in the out here in the world, when a woman has her only son, and that's just like her baby, and so when it's time to let him go, they have a little bit of trouble with that, right?
Mm,
And so I think that's interesting to kind of see that on a like super powered world scale. It's like, okay, this is how people normally react when they're dealing with the separation anxiety between a woman and her son. But when that woman can destroy a building, how does that kind of translate to how she deals with it? And so that's definitely an interesting dynamic. Like I like stuff like that. I like when they just take realistic, real world problems and then just use super powered characters, or they use aliens, or they use metahumans, and say, okay, how would these same general struggles and concepts affect people with supernatural abilities, and how will those abilities play into how they handle it?
I think maybe the invasion of the planet was just a little bit overboard.
Yeah,
Took
definitely.
things a little bit too far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, honestly, Lillian Luthor, she was an interesting villain because she's like Lex. Like
Yes.
they're very alike. They're
She's
menacing.
almost
They're
worse than
smart.
Lex. She's almost worse than Lex
Definitely.
because when you think of
Yeah,
because she Lex Luthor rarely. I'm not an expert on Lex, but Lex Luthor rarely is actually going for world domination, right? He has an idea of how he thinks that the world should be protected, and he has this disconnect with aliens because he doesn't trust them, right?
mm,
Batman is even similar to him in that way. Batman doesn't trust metahumans and trust aliens right away. You know, that's the whole concept of the Justice League Doom movie, where he literally had a
yeah,
list of things that would take out all the metahumans, all of the aliens from his own team. So Lex is not that much different from a character like Batman, but they still have a moral code. They still have like it. We use this phrase a lot. The villain is from the villain's perspective, he is the hero of his own story. Lex Luthor is the pinnacle of that phrase. Um, what's her name? Uh, what's Lena's mom's?
Lillian.
What's her name?
Lillian.
She, she's not like that. She doesn't have that moral compass. She throws her daughter under the bus at every opportunity.
She uses her so
So
much in this season.
much. It's
It's
ridiculous.
unbelievable. And she's like, I really do care.
Yeah.
Do you though?
Like, and
Because you're not showing it very well.
really at all. Like it's crazy. But and honestly, I think that makes for a you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. You had like your fan or something in your background, and suddenly it disappeared. So I wasn't sure if you muted your mic or something. Um,
No.
but dang, I lost my train of. Oh yeah, I think that makes for a good character. Like I like characters who just have just some inherent like pure like just evilness to them. You know.
Yeah.
I don't remember her backstory, but I think what typically happens is you have this evil character, you have this villainous character, and then they want to throw 4 or 5 flashbacks at you and all this other stuff, and they want to make you feel sorry for the character and understand the character. And I'm like, those are great, right? But I think after decades and decades and decades of having those experiences, it's refreshing just to see an evil character that's just like, I'm evil just because. This is me. I'm evil. Nobody was mean to me. Nobody, disrespected me. Nobody killed my parents. No one did any of that stuff. I'm just bad, unfortunately. That's just me. Not everybody can be good. And so I do feel like she falls a little bit closer to that type of character than the typical just anti-hero who just has a different way of going about it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, and then this was also the season with Cyborg Superman, which was kind of interesting to see him come to live action. So I don't think we've ever had that.
Yeah.
Um,
It was interesting. It was a weird play because the Hank Henshaw character is Cyborg Superman, but they were also playing him with the as the Martian
Martian Manhunter.
Manhunter, and I think
Yeah.
that worked well because it's like thank you. I think that worked well because it kind of threw people off. Like it threw people off.
Oh yeah.
For me, I didn't know anything. I didn't know really anything about the Hank Henshaw character. And so I wasn't making that connection right away. And I think sometimes I genuinely feel like a lack of knowledge about a lack of knowledge about the characters and their origins can actually give you a better experience in some of these reimaginings of characters and storylines in the form of television or movies. And so, I mean, I definitely think that just the Hank Henshaw character in general, him kind of, the whole cyborg Superman thing, all of that I think worked really well. But he was
Mhm.
sort of a mid tier though, right? He wasn't a big villain for most
Oh
of the season,
no,
right?
no, he wasn't. He just kind of showed up at times.
I think,
He was really just like always near Lillian.
man, I
Like
think they
she
might have been
worked
able
her.
to do a little bit better with that if they, because you know how towards the later seasons of like the Flash, they were doing double villains, right? They have a first half villain of the season, and they have the back half villain of the season. Um,
Right.
Maybe Hank Henshaw and that cyborg Superman character would have done better as like a split season where you deal with one character in the early half and you spend that early half also building up the second half. Because I just don't think that he worked well as like, I mean, he was almost a henchman, and so it wasn't bad, but sometimes when you see certain things done, it's like if you're not gonna go all out and do it right, kind of don't do it. And so I didn't
Yeah.
feel like they took advantage of those opportunities as well as they could have.
Yeah. Um. So a couple more villains. Mr. Mitzi Plick,
Oh
something like
yes,
that.
Mixie
Uh,
Spitalik, I think.
Mixie Spitalik, right? I
Hmm.
always mix that up. It's kind of it was an interesting episode.
That was a
He
very fun
just
episode. Very fun.
yeah,
Hmm.
he just wants he just wants to be loved, and then
Yep.
Supergirl in the end's like, you can't force love.
Exactly.
You have
Yes.
to let it happen.
Very good message.
And
And also doing something that hadn't been done in the Arrowverse at the time, because that was our first experience with the cosmic like type beings, like those super
oh yeah,
powered beings, extra dimensional beings. I think this was the first time we saw anything like that, and then I don't think we see it again
oh we
until
do,
until the monitor, right?
don't we see? I'm trying to think. Okay,
I don't think we see anything
bear
on.
with me.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the other crossover for the season was?
Uh, there's the
Duet,
Dominators.
Music Meister.
Uh, okay.
You remember?
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wow.
And he also does the
They
same
did,
thing.
but
He
that was
teaches
this.
a lesson.
That was this season.
That was this season.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so there was.
Well, I mean, technically it was Flash season 3, but they coincided with each other.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's actually really interesting because like I didn't even realize that they took 2 episodes to just deal with these characters with these just ridiculous powers that even the strongest can't deal with. And we don't see that again until it's on the largest scale. When you consider the
Um,
last 2 crossovers, so definitely love those
this
two
was right.
episodes.
This was right at the time where she finds out Monel's the Prince of Daxon, and
Mm.
she's upset. Why didn't you tell me? She's getting all angry,
You know
and then
what?
Music Master just shows up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whammies her. And then this is, I can't remember because Flash season 3 was ages ago, but I think it had something to do with spoilers for Flash season 3 incoming. Uh, Him not telling Iris about the Savitar thing, and that's why he wanted to force a marriage, and she like gets all angry. So they're both dealing with the same thing. Someone's angry at someone, so Music Meister
But you know what,
whammies
man?
them
Yeah, but you
to
know what,
teach them a
man?
lesson.
I never, I never liked Supergirl Kara's response to that.
Oh, I didn't like it either. I thought it was
I
kind of ridiculous. If he didn't want to tell you,
There's literally
he didn't.
yeah, literally none of your business, zero, none.
That was his choice, and he probably didn't want to tell you because stuff like that kind of freaks people out sometimes. It's just like, I'm royalty. Like, oh boy,
And
that's a
and
lot.
sometimes it's like sometimes even if you disagree with a character, you can kind of understand where they're coming from. Like I didn't
Yeah,
I could not identify with what she was trying to do. Like no, it's none of your business and you had nothing to gain by knowing or not knowing that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like it wasn't like not knowing. I mean, I guess not knowing if you want to stretch it, not knowing technically put them in danger, but that's even a stretch. So
yeah.
I was really frustrated dealing with Kara and Supergirl and how, uh, just how she handled that whole situation.
The interesting thing about that crossover though is that um, obviously Iris and Monel uh, in the duet universe were having an affair with each other secretly. That episode was crazy. Let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, when they're talking, I think Barry's talking to Joe, and then Supergirl is talking to Malcolm. When they say what they say about love, they're like, "Holy crap! That's exactly the advice I should be taking myself."
Yes.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, wow. And then you find out Music Meister's not even really a villain. He's like, I only did that so you can learn a lesson
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
of
Yep.
love.
Mm-hmm. Well, that
Um,
episode is actually underrated.
it's interesting.
It's an underrated episode.
A little, yeah.
I know people just tend to like the musical type episodes or anything like that. Like the thematic episodes, the episodes with a specific purpose. They tend to shy away from those, but I just think it's an excellent way to see how well these writers can tell a story. You know, because it's easy to just to use the same formula that you've been using for the past 5 or 6 years. It's another to switch it up and try something different.
So now we've discussed the villains. I guess we could discuss Roulette. She ran the Alien Fight Club. You know, she's kind of like an on and off villain in
Mm-hmm.
this season. She only shows up a couple times, and then we get on to the heroes. Guardian. James Olsen gets
Yeah.
his arc, goes
Yeah.
as the Guardian Vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
And Wynn has some development in this season too, quite a bit,
Yeah, he
because he
does.
starts working for DEO, right? I was
Yes.
about to say ASA, and then I was like, wait a minute,
Nah, it's
that's
not.
backtracking. Those blend together too.
They really do. Um,
um,
man,
he
remind
starts
me
working for the
how.
DEO. So
Oh, you know what? Let's actually while we're on that because you brought up Lynn, let's talk about their dynamic as. Let's talk about that whole thing.
the
When
crime fighting duo,
exactly when
yes,
and
James.
James teaming up, kind of doing their own like arrow thing on the side, dude. They're doing their arrow
Yeah.
thing on the side. Um, you know, he's going out. James is going out and he's being successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, I don't remember any drastic moments where I mean, yeah, he was putting himself in danger, but he had Win there helping him. Um, and I just love that they were able to find a way to do that because it's different. It's different. Oliver going out and doing it against regular humans who have skills that he could just like match up with. It's another thing, and now you have James Olsen with this nice suit, and he's going out and he's fighting
Mm-hmm.
regular people, but he's dealing with like aliens and just all this different stuff, right? Um, I don't even remember how they got that idea, and
I think James. I think James just wanted to help people. You know, he realized, hey, like I could do a lot more than just being behind a camera. I could help people.
and
I
when
could do it hard.
and when came to him and said I can make you a suit, or James went and said make me a suit.
No, he asked him to make a suit. He's like, no, I'm not gonna make you a suit and watch you go out there and kill yourself.
I remember that exact dialogue.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
Supergirl finds out,
that's
and
what I wanted to touch on.
go ahead.
So they're fighting live wire duplicates. They're
I
kind of
think
like
what
live wire.
happened is like there was a scientist who had kidnapped her, and they were taking
Yeah,
her powers and
they
putting them
kidnapped
into
her.
other people, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and they're attacking, and then she asks Bonell to watch after civilians, the cops,
Hmm.
and then he doesn't. He goes to save her, and she gets upset, but that's a side thing. Uh, James or Jimmy, he gets injured, and Kara, Kara finds out, and she's
Hmm.
once more upset that she didn't tell him, or he didn't tell her, and then
I
she
don't
gets
even
even
think,
more upset
yeah,
because she
just the
gets even
fact
more
that she
upset.
was that he was doing it.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. She gets even more upset when she finds out Alex, Win, pretty much everybody knew except her.
Damn.
Um,
I don't
which
remember.
I guess you can kind of understand.
Was it more so that they didn't tell her? Because I remember her having this like I remember her having this attitude of, "Oh, I'm the hero. I'm the only one who needs to be going out there and risking myself, not you. You're just a regular human. You're going to go out there and get yourself killed. You need to leave this all to me." And it made her it made it seem like she just had this ridiculous ego about
Mm.
being the super character. Like what was it more of that, or was it more of her saying, "Man, I wish you would have told me"? Because remember, like with Thea, once Oliver told Thea that he was the Arrow, that was it. She just wanted to kind of be in the loop. She was totally fine. But I don't remember. Man, I just remember like Supergirl having almost this narcissistic attitude about everything having to be done her way.
Um, I honestly can't remember. I do know that she gets upset with James,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually, later, she's like, "Look," or no. Before she's like, "I'm gonna stop you," and then later on, she's like, "Look, I'm not gonna stop you from doing this, but I'm not gonna be a part of it."
Mm.
She
Okay.
just kind of sets the ground rules,
Yeah.
and you know, uh, he just that's what he does most of the season. Tries to help people, um, especially towards the end, of the season when everything goes crazy. More on that later. Um, Lena, and then she was shown very first episode, I believe, and we get also at our first look at Superman.
Did we
Yeah, this is the first episode he was in.
on screen?
I mean, he was in season one, but they never showed his face or any of that. But
Superman
yeah,
was on screen. He
um,
wasn't a sil. You know what? You're right. I think it was episode 5 and 6.
no. This is literally the first episode,
Lit.
season
Oh.
two.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay. Um.
yeah.
I don't know why I
Because
thought that was
it's
so much
it's
later.
yeah. It's the first episode. Supergirl and Superman team up to stop a new threat. Um, that's when Mon-El shows up too, but it's Metallo, I believe, um,
Mm.
was the first big bad. And
So
anybody who's seen any Superman comic knows Metallo's a big Superman villain.
yeah,
But,
huge.
in this case, he's a Supergirl villain, and he was kind of
Very
dumbed down
lame.
a little bit. Yeah,
Very,
he was.
very lame. Very
He
lame.
wasn't like Metallo.
It honestly, like when it comes to Warner Brothers, um, excuse me, when it comes to Warner Brothers, like cherry picking and micromanaging and saying don't use these characters, don't use that character. It really sucks when they allow you to use somebody and then you just botch it. Like Metallo was used horribly there. Um, but you know what? How do you feel about the way Superman was dealt with in those first couple of episodes of Supergirl?
I'm gonna be upfront with you. When I wasn't even watching Supergirl, I watched those episodes,
Oh, really?
and yeah, I did because I was interested to see how they handled it. I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
I like him. He's peppy. He's hopeful. He's Superman.
I liked him a lot more than Henry Cavill's Superman.
I can see why. I can see why.
To me, he felt
Um,
more like Superman than Henry Cavill did. Like, like I get it. Henry Cavill was kind of more of that new age like Superman. Kind of the last decade or so, Superman. But I like and I'm not much of a Superman fan, but the Superman that I do like is the happy, jokey, not jokey, but just the happy, just pleasant, good attitude, good spirit, Boy Scout of a Superman, right? That's
I
my
understand.
idea of Superman. And I feel like Tyler Hoechlin's Superman just did that well. Um,
You did. You did.
People had a
Um,
problem with him. Um, I don't know if it was more so like, oh, they just wanted it to be Henry Cavill, or maybe they were just stuck on the movies. But I I liked them, and and I was just excited to see how they continue to use him. However, what I didn't like was them. Listen, I get it. When you're the guest character, you don't get to overshadow the main character. I get it. It's
yeah.
Supergirl. It's not Superman. but boy, did they make Superman look like a doofus.
I
Um,
mean, a little bit.
and they proceeded to make him look like a doofus anytime he appeared in that show, and it's just really frustrating because at that point it goes back to what I said earlier. If you're not going to go all out and just do it right, just leave it alone. You know.
I mean, she also, towards the end, she whoops him, and I mean whoops him.
Mm-hmm. And that's just
It's
dumb.
like,
And then he's just like, "Oh
would
yeah,
she?
you sure are so much stronger than me." Ha ha ha.
Because Superman's pretty powerful,
Yeah,
and he's had a lot more experience than Kara,
yeah.
also. But that's it's a TV show. I just kind of look over it. Um,
Let's try. We're at right at the 30-minute mark. Let's try to see if we can wrap things up around the 45-minute mark. So that gives us about 15 more minutes to hit certain plot, hit some of the major points, and then just kind of give our overall thoughts again. You there?
yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh, man, there's some things I want to talk about, but they're in season three, man.
Well,
Like
you got to leave him
King's
alone. Talk
in.
about McGann.
I know I gotta leave him alone. I'm going. Yep. Um, yeah, he meets Magan, and she's a Martian. She appears as a green Martian, and they start getting close. And then later on, you find out she's not a green Martian,
She's a white Martian.
because he gets injured, and the only thing that could save him is Martian blood. So she gives him some of hers, and then he starts seeing like white Martian stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how he finds out. And then they lock her up. He locks her up, and then later, trying to think, something like something makes them like make up. They bond together. Um,
I think she just has to
oh, that's right.
continuously. I think he just puts her through a grueling hell of trying to prove that, like, she's a good person. Cause the
No, 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 no. She gets really sick, and the only way for him to help her, to get her out, because like she's trapped, right?
in her own
Um,
mind.
in her mind, right? So the way
Okay,
to
yeah,
go to
yeah, yeah.
get her out is to bond with her,
Mm,
and he does it to save her. And he realizes like you're actually like a good person,
yes.
you know.
Which is
And
so stupid because it's one of those things. It's like you can bond, you can read each other's minds, like you can do so much to understand that like this is actually a good person. And and you just decide to just continue to be mean just because, and I understand it because basically the story behind it is that the white Martians are racist and they killed a lot of green Martians, including John Jones' family. And
right.
so I mean, I get it, I do, but it's such a easily solved problem. But I think in this they are love interests to an extent, right?
Yeah, yeah, they are. It really,
But I
it's an on and off thing
but I
because they do kiss on the lips, so obviously it's not, brother or sister kind of thing. Um,
because I
it
thought
is a
that
romantic kind of thing.
because for some reason I thought that they were cousins, or like the actual characters.
They are, but for this iteration for Supergirl,
Oh no,
they
no, no, they're
went
not
a different
cousins.
route.
She's his niece. She's his
His
niece.
niece, yeah,
I knew that
yeah,
because I thought it was. I think that's how it is in Young Justice.
Young
So I was
Justice, yeah,
surprised when like they made her kind of a romantic person instead.
because they're not related, obviously, because
Yeah.
she's a white Martian.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly. Uh,
they went a different route, which I'm okay with. That didn't
yeah.
bother me.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm okay with that.
So I guess we can get to the like close to the finale. Rhea, like I said, his mom, she just he doesn't want to go because he loves Kara, um, and he doesn't want to leave. So she's like, okay, all right, well, I guess we're gonna leave. And then she comes back and invades.
Yes.
She takes over everything, and then just when everything is going absolute crazy, they're talking to the president, and Cat Grant is with the president, and they're like, "What?"
Mm.
So the president gets attacked, and they save her. Which, by the way, cool little thing. She's played by Linda Carter, who originally played Wonder Woman
Mm-hmm.
uh, back in the day,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. They find out she's an alien, so it makes sense that she supports aliens if she is an alien.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But Lillian Luther shows up because Rhea takes Monel and Lena, and she's like, because Lena and Rhea were kind of bonding a little bit, and she's like, "You are gonna marry Monel," and I was just like uncomfortable. I was like, "We have no chemistry, no."
Literally none.
He's like, I don't want to marry her."
They don't even have the same personalities.
No, they do not. Um, anyway, Lillian shows up. She's like, "I want, you know, like we have allied interests," and I was thinking, I was like, it makes sense, Alien. She hates aliens. She wants them gone. Alien, gone.
Yes.
Saves daughter. But she does a little fun trick. She saves uh, what's her name? Lena, because they go on the ship, they stop them, they rescue them, and Lillian, Cyborg Superman, uh, leave with Lena, and they close the portal so they can't get back. Obviously, Lena's a bit upset, and then Mon-El and Supergirl are like, "What are we gonna do?" And Supergirl's like, "Oh, I knew she was gonna screw us over," and
Mm-hmm.
she had like a backup plan.
Yes.
Um, but anyway, so that's at what point Rhea decides to just completely. Um, oh wait, no, that's during the
I thought
invasion.
there was a moment
That was during the invasion.
where Rhea um like
Fight Supergirl.
no she yeah, but I thought there was a moment where Rhea and Lena were working together for something.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I said they kind of bonded.
Oh yeah, okay, okay.
They were working on the big portal that she brings, her planet. She brings the Daxamites, uh,
Okay.
and that's how the invasion is starting.
Ah, yes, 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 yes,
Um,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So at this point, Supergirl wants to call. I can't remember the name, but they have to fight. Basically, she fights Rhea, um, and I'm trying to think.
I think
Didn't Rhea
I
cheat?
I think what because based on some of the notes here, you know, we had that moment that you were talking about earlier where Supergirl has to fight Superman because they had put some stupid trance on him, which I'm not so
No, no,
I'm
no, no.
not.
They used white. They used white kryptonite,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which
But it put him in like a
because he was seeing
trance.
Zod. He was seeing Zod.
Yes, yes,
He
yes.
wasn't seeing Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
So, um,
And then Supergirl just walks him, which is stupid, but she walks him. And
I think Supergirl is getting losing, and then that's when she's like, okay, because they make this uh, man, I'm trying to think. They make this device. It's lead. I think
yes,
it's
yeah,
is it lead?
that puts lead
Something
into
like
the
that.
air, and I think lead for
Yeah,
whatever reason just kills the Daxamites, right?
pretty much. Yeah. So they have to leave. Um, Rhea just straight up dies because she's like, "Son, help me." He's like, "You killed my father and tried to kill
Yep, she
me
killed him
and
for
forced me to
nothing
do
too.
things I didn't want." Like,
She killed him for nothing
really?
too. Literally no reason.
You want me to save you? He's like, "I'm not gonna save you."
Yep.
Anyway, this is a really sad moment, honestly, because she has to make the choice because she loves Mono,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if she does this, he can't stay. And
Yep.
I honestly thought he was gonna die. I was like, oh man, don't kill him off.
Yep.
But she puts him in a pod and he leaves. He
Yep.
leaves. He leaves Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is good again. Yay! Um, and one more thing I wanted to touch on: Snapper. He's he's like, you thought Cat Grant was bad? Oh no, no, no! Hold my beer. That's what Snapper said. He was mean.
I never thought that Kat was
He was
mean though. I just thought
mean.
that she was just tough love. Like she was the definition of
Well,
tough
tough
love.
love. Like towards the beginning of the season, you kind of get that vibe, but towards more of season one, you realize that she's she has a soft side, Um, the Snapper does too. You know, he he's really tough on Kara. You know, because you know he wants her to be a better reporter, and
Mm-hmm.
he's like, look,
Yep.
if you're into stupid stuff, then you know, because she does something to get fired.
Yeah.
Um, and then eventually she comes back. She gave him a story, something like that. But yeah, uh, that's I think that pretty much covers season two. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens.
Does I
Like,
guess Jimmy doesn't become the leader of Catco in season two?
yeah, no, he was running Catco.
In
He
season two?
was yes,
Okay.
season two. He was in Cat Grant's place.
Okay. That's what. Okay. Cool. Um,
Right. Um,
one thing I know that I didn't like. I really didn't like. um. So for me personally, I don't mind them dealing with different types of characters and backgrounds and ethnicities and sexualities and things. My issue is
mhm.
like sometimes what they do is they'll create a character and that entire character and their story arc and everything about them will be linked to something like their sexuality or their race or their ethnicity, and it's just like I for me, I just don't think it does justice to those actual characters, and it doesn't show um like it doesn't help show that people who may have a different background or people who may have a different sexuality or anything like that, it's difficult to show them as part of the community when you make everything about them related to just this one aspect of their life. And I feel like the Alex and the Maggie situation was driven so much into that direction, and that's kind of why I struggle. I think a lot more of it is present in season three, but it does kind of start in season two. So I guess we could talk a little bit
Mhm.
more of that in a week or so, when we look into a week or a couple of weeks when we look into season three of Supergirl, which is actually my favorite season. So I'm excited for that. Until then, I think we have season
Um,
three of Black Lightning coming up in a few couple of days.
real quick,
Uh huh.
would you would you want to do Legend season two before then? Because
Yes,
you know,
I definitely want to do
Legend
that.
season two is
Legend season
is
two
epic. I
is
love Legend
very
season
nice. I
two.
love season two. We'll do that. We'll do
Yes,
that this
me
week.
too.
So we'll do Black
All
Lightning
right,
next week.
cool, cool.
Okay, great.
All right.
Let's see how we're doing on time. Oh, just at 44 minutes and 20 seconds. If you like the video, like it. If you think someone else might like it, share it. And if you want to see more, we really hope that you would subscribe. Make sure you leave all your thoughts and everything in the comments, and we'll see y'all next time.